So let me tell you about the most frustrating pattern that I see in tech companies. Recently, I watched a leadership team celebrate their biggest product launch in years, but in the same week, they discovered an equally important initiative that had been quietly dying for weeks and nobody noticed. It's the same company, it's the same set of talented individuals, same strategic priorities, but completely different outcomes. This is not just a people problem, this is a systems problem, and it's killing your ability to scale. The reality is most organizations run what's effectively an execution lottery. Some projects magically succeed and other ones mysteriously fail, and leadership has no idea which will be which until it's too late. And the teams that succeed can't really tell you why they succeeded, and the teams that struggle can't exactly pinpoint what went wrong. Everybody's working hard, but delivery is pretty much unpredictable. And that creates a death spiral of sorts. Leadership starts to micromanage the struggling teams while leaving the successful ones alone. But then the struggling teams lose confidence. The successful teams feel pressure to maintain the magic that they can't explain themselves. And meanwhile, your organization can't scale because you can't replicate what you can't define. And most companies think that clear strategy automatically creates good execution, but that's not right. Strategy tells you what to build. It doesn't tell you how to build it consistently. You wouldn't expect a manufacturing plant to hit targets without standardized processes, any more than you'd expect a restaurant to deliver quality food without recipes. That just wouldn't happen. Yet somehow we expect knowledge work to magically self-organize around delivery. And that's just crazy. It doesn't work that way. Inconsistent execution doesn't just slow you down, it breaks trust at every level. Teams lose faith in leadership. Leadership loses confidence in teams. Your best people end up leaving because great work just gets lost in organizational disarray. And so what do you actually do about this? Well, that's really what I want to talk about today. So let's get down to an actual action plan here. Let me go and get this set up. All right. Step one, let's diagnose current patterns. Like right now, go and look at your last 10 major initiatives. Make a list. Which ones thrived? Which ones stalled? And don't guess. Actually talk to the teams that were involved. Ask them directly, what made the difference? You'll probably find that the successful projects had clearer ownership, better coordination, more predictable check-ins, whereas failed projects probably lacked these elements. It's not exactly rocket science. It's more like pattern recognition. So let's go on to step two. Step two, define what good execution actually looks like. Most teams assume that everyone shares the same definition of success, but in reality, that's not often the case. One team might think that daily stand-ups are essential, while another one finds them intrusive. These aren't just personality differences, they're actually execution gaps that are waiting to blow up. So create shared expectations around the key stages. How initiatives get planned, how they get kicked off, coordinated, reviewed. Document what done actually means. This doesn't need to be complicated, but it absolutely needs to be consistent. Step three, identify where the gaps are hurting you. Ask your teams directly, where does work typically get stuck? Most people know exactly where the friction points are, they just haven't been asked to articulate them. And usually it's predictable stuff. Unclear roles, missing check-ins, scope creep that nobody notices. Surface these patterns before they become fires. Step four, build a lightweight playbook. And I'm not talking about a 50-page manual that no one's going to read. Document the 3 or 4 critical things that every initiative needs to succeed. And think execution recipe. Simple enough to follow, but detailed enough to be useful. Who owns what? How often do teams sync? What does done look like? When does leadership get involved? Keep it practical, not just theoretical. And then step 5, make adherence visible. The best process in the world won't help if teams forget to use it. Build your execution expectations into your project boards. Build them into team spaces. Review cadences. Make following the framework the path of least resistance, not an extra thing that they have to do. And then when execution becomes consistent, something amazing happens. Delivery stops being heroic and starts being systematic. Teams gain confidence because they know what's expected. And leadership gains clarity because they can predict what's coming. Most importantly, you create space for actual innovation instead of navigating organizational chaos. Your strategy deserves an execution system that can deliver on it. Not sometimes, but every time. The question isn't whether you need better execution, it's whether you're ready to build the framework that makes it possible.